What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about draft prospect Malik Willis. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys continuing to tune into the channel, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on my channel. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So like I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about draft prospect Malik Willis. Malik Willis played his college ball at the University of Liberty. He is the quarterback from the University of Liberty. Malik Willis stands about 6 feet to 6'1". He weighs about 220 pounds. And I do believe that the Falcons, if they decide to draft a quarterback with that number 8 pick in the first round, I can see the Falcons drafting Malik Willis possibly at that quarterback position. If I were the GM personally, I think that the Falcons should just stick with Marcus Mariota for this year and maybe Felipe Franks as his backup. I wouldn't draft a quarterback in this draft, but if Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot falls in love with a quarterback in this draft, or if they think that Malik Willis could be the future franchise quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, I would completely 100% get behind whoever's under center for our Atlanta Falcons moving forward as a fan. But if I were the GM, I wouldn't go after a quarterback in this draft unless you just think that you fall in love with one of these guys and believe that, that they can be the future franchise quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons now that we've moved on from Matt Ryan. With that being said, I do believe that Malik Willis is the type of quarterback that would fit perfectly in Arthur Smith's scheme because he's a quarterback that's mobile and he's a guy that's very good throwing the ball outside of the pocket. He's one of those guys that you can use in those bootlegs in the West Coast system. If you remember when we had Kyle Shanahan, he loved to run the ball and use the play action pass. And that's something that Arthur Smith also does as well. He likes to run a lot of RPOs. He likes to run a lot of quarterback bootlegs and things of that nature. And he likes to run a lot of quarterback keepers. So that's something that I think Malik Willis does really well. And I feel like he would fit Arthur Smith's scheme perfectly if we did decide to draft him. Now, if the Falcons do decide to draft Malik Willis in this draft, one thing that I think is really a good thing is he could sit behind a quarterback like Marcus Mariota, a quarterback who's mobile, a quarterback that's been around the block. A few years in the league. Marcus Mariota has been around and is a veteran in this league. And he also understands Arthur Smith's scheme due to him being with Arthur Smith in Tennessee. So he could be one of those guys that could be that bridge quarterback to pass the torch to Malik Willis. Malik Willis wouldn't have to play this season. He could sit behind Marcus Mariota for a year or two, depending on how well Marcus Mariota plays. And that would give the Falcons time to build this team up around Malik Willis. So, like I said, if the Falcons decide to go after him, I do see the skill set. Malik Willis is a guy that can throw the ball off platform. I really think that his game reminds me of a Russell Wilson because he's a quarterback, even though he's mobile, he doesn't look to run. That's not his first instinct. Kind of like a Mike Vick when we had him in Atlanta. He's not a one-read quarterback and then just take off and run. Malik Willis is one of those guys that keeps his eyes down the field. He has a big arm, and I can see him, his ceiling possibly being like a Russell Wilson. Now, his floor, I think, is like a Jalen Hurts that plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I could definitely see that as well. But with that being said, like I said, I definitely think that Malik Willis could do some things in this Atlanta Falcons offense with Arthur Smith and learning under a guy like Marcus Mariota. So we'll definitely see what the Atlanta Falcons decide to do in this draft. I'm very intrigued to see what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are going to do in this draft because the Falcons have a lot of needs a lot of holes to fill. And at this point, we are in a rebuild mode. So I'm interested to see how they're going to rebuild this team. Like we always say, in the draft, it's not just about that first pick, but it's multiple picks in this draft. So even if they decide to go with Malik Willis, even though I don't want them to take a quarterback in the first round, we still have, multiple second round picks, multiple third round picks with trading Matt Ryan to still build this team. Personally, I think the Falcons should build the trenches first. But like I said, if they decide that Malik Willis is that quarterback that fits the scheme and he's the guy that they believe is the future of this Atlanta Falcons organization, I do think that Malik Willis, from what I'm hearing, coming out of the collegiate ranks, that he's a very good leader. He's a guy in that Liberty locker room that the coaches and all of the players rave about. And I've heard nothing but good things as far as him off the field. He is also, I believe, a Georgia native. He talked about going to Atlanta Falcons games as a child and as a teenager. So I definitely could see, similar to the Deshaun Watson situation, being that he was from Georgia, a native of Georgia, I could definitely see possibly Malik Willis being that guy that the Falcons try to go after, being that he has those Georgia roots, and he is one of those guys from our own backyard. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you think of Malik Willis. Do you think that the Falcons will draft him? What do you think about him being an Atlanta Falcon? Like I said, if the Falcons decide to draft him, I would get behind him 100%. But personally, I think the Falcons should build the trenches first. I think that they should, bring in more weapons and things of that nature, and try to build this team before selecting a quarterback. But I can see the Falcons definitely taking a quarterback like Malik Willis because of his skill set. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I have a lot more coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. Peace.